Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the channel. Thanks so much for joining me for this one. This is kind of a neat one, a little different than what I've gone in through before. With my new, that liquidity portfolio kind of management video that I've done, I want to bring more opportunities for you guys to maybe either join communities or find places to get some of your research done for you, ways for you to save time and or money, and some of them will cost money to get into, but give you an opportunity to make the best choices in the space. And if you don't have all the time to research projects, this is going to be the one for you potentially. So this one is mostly looking at the small cap availabilities that are on the market and kind of honing down on them. And the biggest thing here with most people that get into the space is you're either spreading yourself too thin, or you're under diversifying and just like being too much of a maxi in one thing. And really it's in between where that sweet spot happens, where that sauce happens and all that stuff. And one of the sayings here, which I agree with this wholeheartedly, is you want to be part of the 5% who buy at the bottom rather than the 95% that buy at the top. And this is a really neat tool and resource for you to do that without having to put all the time and effort into finding these opportunities yourself. And the reason being is what they do is they've built their own portfolio, diversifying in different narratives, a lot of this being like AI narrative, the DePIN narrative, startups of any kinds inside the space, and they've done in-depth research on these things to offer a kind of, okay, here's our choice of the top 5 DePIN projects. It's not quite laid out like that, but they definitely have a diversified portfolio that includes that kind of setup, in my opinion. So they've kind of tried to take out a lot of the crap. Obviously, they're not going to be 100% win, but they're doing this work for you, so there's a cost for that. They do have some success stories here that you maybe want to have a look at. Their Discord also has some of this stuff, and their Telegram, so always good to have a peek at that, a little video about them. And this is what you're kind of, how you get into this project. So there is a link that I will give you. It has obviously a little address there in order to track them. And if you were to choose to click on my link, there is some funds that I earn, I believe, from this. But as always, my stuff gets put over to PFX and other things. I try not to take a whole lot of cash flow from affiliate links and referral links and that kind of stuff. But I do like to get some of those funds so that I can put them into sources that help other people. With this one, this has been a little bit of a big move for me. I don't do a lot of token buying, so it's been a little bit not stressful, but a little bit of the unknowns get a little bit scarier, right? So it's a little harder to make those leaps of faith. So I've kind of delayed making this video, which I guess works out in your favor, because right now there's a lifetime plan that's on sale right now, down to $560. So you could get a nice little bonus if you decided to jump in feet first into this. This will be available, I believe, until Friday or Monday of this week, if I'm not mistaken. So at least a week, you have a week kind of to think about it. They also have 3-month plans, a 6-month plan, and 1-month plan, 1-year plans, which give you some different benefits. Obviously with these two, the nice big bonuses is you get a one-on-one meeting with them as well if you wanted to ask them questions. Could be a great time to say, okay, I'm entering now based on the portfolio you guys have. What are maybe the top 2 or 3 that I've still can get a good position in? Because maybe they've already ROI'd on a few, and there's some gems that stand out that they're pretty confident in, that maybe you're an still early on kind of thing. So different things that can be useful for. Basically, once you click on one of these, it brings you to a link. You'll need USDT on the Polygon network. Just to touch on that a little bit, I find a lot of people are using some different resources for bridging, and really, in my opinion, there's actually only 2 that really work the best. There may be some other options out there, but for me, these 2 are the ones that I find the best results with. Marcelo actually showed me this one, and I started using it. It is not always the best, but it seems to be even better than Synapse, which is the one I've used quite a bit. Synapseprotocol.com or core.allbridge.io. I'm going to try and set up in my Discord some links to all this stuff so you can get the real for sure links and not be getting Googling it, kind of possibly getting the wrong links and stuff. But with both of these, I can't remember. So I bought 3 tokens. One of them was Neoxa, which I had to buy on Mexi, because there was no place to hold it kind of on a wallet, except for I think there's a wallet of theirs, but I got to research some more. I'd love to get into the Neoxa, the actual node side of things, but I haven't done enough research, and I need more capital to get into those things in a little heavier way to make it worthwhile, in my opinion. And plus, I would have liked to have been in there earlier on. The other one was AVAX. So I believe, I can't remember whether it was Allbridge or Synapse, but one of them was cheaper for me moving my funds over to the AVAX, and the other one was cheaper when I was moving my funds from, I think, BSC to Polygon. So I used one transaction with this one transaction with this one. The other neat thing about this guy, Allbridge, and I believe Synapse does it as well, but when you're going to bridge to chains that you haven't gone to before, you have to be very careful and have some gas fees for that. And so the cool thing about this one is you can kind of run this up and send some AVAX over as you're transferring to the AVAX network, or any network for that matter. And so the cool thing is you can get those gas costs covered for you. So it'll basically take a little piece of your pie and give you gas in that wallet right away. That's probably one of the biggest learning curves for a lot of people, is like, okay, now I got USDT in this wallet, but I can't do anything with it because I forgot to put ETH or AVAX or BNB or whatever in that wallet. And then you have to deal sometimes with an exchange or ask somebody to send you money. It just becomes a little bit cumbersome. So this little feature here is pretty fantastic and saves you a lot of time and effort. So something to keep in mind when you're moving funds around. Anyways, back to the, so Nyaxa, I came to CoinGecko, which they give you links to, and I went down and I noticed that, all right, I just want to bring you to the actual website. So this is what you see when you get into the website. Obviously I blacked out some of it. I kept open the Nyaxa one. They did say it was okay for me to show like one of the ones I was investing in. With this one, as you can see, it reached a target, their first target, where they took some profits, but it's since gone down a bit to 0.003, so half of what it was when they took profit. So this is one of the reasons why I decided to take this one. Since there was a pullback, it seemed like a good way to go. I knew it already, so I had some confidence in it already based on some stuff that I think your friend Andy has talked about and that kind of stuff. So that was one of the first ones I bought. Like I said, I did about $800 split 3 ways, and I'll probably do some more every couple of weeks when I can. Gives you a little bit of a breakdown of what it is, where you can earn it. So obviously using the nodes if you wanted to, how to set up a wallet, like the native wallet for them, the targets that they're picking as their targets to get to DCA out of the holdings, and then the market cap, and just some different data obviously as it sits right now. And as I said, the narrative. So they have gaming, AI, DPIN, and all kinds of different narratives that they're kind of trying, L1s and all this kind of stuff that they're trying to diversify themselves into, trying to pick the best of the best between those. So I wanted to give you a little idea of how the website works. I'll go into the Discord for a few moments, and then we'll kind of wrap it up there. They also have their Telegram up here as well, so you can get links for any of those. The Telegram is more of an announcement thing. I think there is a chat as well, and then there's obviously the Discord, where there's a nicely set up layout, in my opinion, for everything. So let's go take a look at that. So if you come in without an NFT, you'll see some of this Discord, like the portfolio, the start here and all this stuff up top, the public channels, which you can still get into and have a chat with if you want to learn a little bit more or take a little closer look at things before you decide to get in. As you can see, there's some VIP channels, and again, there's just a regular chat, the team, the portfolio moves, which is great because that's basically where you're going to get your notice of when they get in and out of positions based on what they're choosing to do with their portfolio. Again, you don't have to follow this stuff blindly. You can make your own choices on which ones you like, which ones you don't like, based on your own personal biases or questions or things that you think that are important to you, or how diversified your portfolio already is. And then VIP announcements, so some different things they'll have in there, and then the where to buy links, like I said, from XC. So it helps you get in. These obviously looks like there's some codes here that they give, so good to support the team if you're liking what they're doing for you. This gives them some benefit if you use their codes. So all in all, just a neat little system that I think might be worthwhile for some people, depending on what your goals are and what you're trying to do right now in the space, and especially with this bull kind of starting right now, or in the middle of whatever, as Bitcoin and other things start appreciating again, as the halving comes and things start growing again, there's going to be some opportunities there, I think, to win with some of these plays that they're putting out there. And although you could make these plays yourself and possibly maybe find these plays yourself, the time that it takes to really do the deep dive or to choose, what we'll see a lot of times in this space, or in any space, even if we go back again and compare to the internet boom that happened, there was really specific companies that came out of that boom with way more benefit. So if you bought those, like the Googles, the Amazons, the Facebooks, if you bought stocks in those guys back when they were first starting out, you bought them at pennies on the dollar, kind of like buying Bitcoin at a dollar, and appreciated some pretty darn decent wealth. Even if you had bought 100 different things, again, I wouldn't recommend diversifying that far, 100 different things, if you hit one of them, you've made up way more of your losses if you hit one of them ended up being the Google or Amazon or whatever. With these guys, the nice thing about it is it takes some of the work away. You can more concentrate yourself into a smaller group of things and hopefully hit one of those with a little bit of larger money and hit one of those big ones. And that would be the biggest benefit out of here in the long term is narrowing down how many things you have to diversify in to hope for a big one, because they've done some research maybe a little more and found some things that maybe you would not have found by looking at what they're looking at. So take some time, have a peek at this. This video is probably coming up Monday because I have to do a tiny bit of editing, and then you should be able to have a good week to kind of decide whether this is a play for you. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Obviously, join my Discord down below. Please do hit that like button and subscribe button, all that fun jazz that we do inside the space. And I look forward to coming to you with the next play. Actually, and if you stayed till the end, here's a little bit of alpha. And I think I've talked about this a little bit, but I am also getting another community group opportunity for everybody that it will allow you to learn and use liquidity pools without a whole lot of time input, but making the decisions yourself, which I think is a good thing to do in this space. So just a little more active management of liquidity pools where you can earn yourself some pretty sweet consistent coin from, and possibly use that earnings to put in something like this and to buy some of these tokens and DCA yourself into some of these opportunities that you're narrowing down with this community. So hopefully some great opportunities for you guys, some great things for you. Thank you so much for joining me and giving me some of your time, and please have yourselves a fantastic rest of your weekend, or week, I guess, if it's out Monday.